Alright people, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that dicky-do down below. Make sure you comment. It really pushes me along to work on this every single day. Thank you very much. Hey, and welcome back to E-Man Deluxe. We're here today because, well, I got something to show you. The Misty is pretty much complete for now, and we're moving on. We're falling into winter now, and I need to show you the next project. We're gonna pull it out, and I need to give you a brief history of how this project has come into my life. I have done a video on this once before, but it was pretty awful and didn't really touch on it. Just really want to spend some more time showing you the vehicle and what I have for the project to put it all together. This is not going to be a quick build at all. This is going to be pretty in-depth. It's going to take some time, and as you can see, this is really all I have at the time. It's a very small garage. Room is tight, but there's power out here now. Finally, I have heat, lights. So what else is there to make an excuse about? Eventually the plan is to, this is an apple tree here, eventually I would like to get rid of this garage and bump it back, and the beginning of the garage would be here, and this would be all excavated, and there'd be a driveway flowing out. So let's bring you inside. I got some things to show you before I pull the vehicle out. So back in about 1993, my sister had I think it was like a 1970 or 1971 Beetle as her first car. And my father would take her and I to Volkswagen shows. I am located in Connecticut, and we would go to a couple Connecticut shows, and we had a great time. So I was tagging along, and I fell in love with the bus. I was 14 years old, completely fell in love. 21 window. So fast forward a little while, I decided I wanted one, and my father and I started looking. Back then there was no internet, obviously. We had classified paper, and it was called the Bargain News, and you call up and you see what you get. Well, I was looking for about 3 or 4 months, and I was not finding anything. My father was working nights, and I would leave the Bargain News on the table, and he would look it over, having breakfast early in the morning. After his paper, he would also deliver papers. He left me a note in the morning, and he said, "I can't believe you didn't see this. 1964 21 window bus for $400, or best offer." Dad and I took a trip up there, and my dad, being a VW lover as well, saw it, and it had no front end installed in it, and I offered the guy $200, and he took it. So this is what we came home with. My dad has been gracious enough all these years to hold on to it for me for many years. I'm just going to show you some pictures along the way. I don't know how these are going to show up on the video. I was 15 years old, and I had the vision of getting it back on the road as my first car. I really did. I worked a lot on it for probably 6-8 months. I was trying to get it running and driving and give it a paint job. Yeah. Look at that. Working out there in the summer. It didn't have, I think it was second gear. So we had to send the transmission away and get it rebuilt. That engine was installed in the bus when I got it. That is actually in Misty now, that engine. It's a 1600 single port. And I'll show you the other bus, the other engine that I rebuilt. Yep, I'm out there with my sister. So I got more pictures. Here's my dad doing some body work on his knees, laying down on a cardboard, trying to get it ready for paint many years ago. Yes, I loved my afro. Transmission shot. Probably before. That's probably the original transmission that was in it. This is when it had a floor in it. And my dad had me put a lot of this Rust-Oleum, this black Rust-Oleum on here, and I really think it helped a lot, saved a lot from it rusting any further. There I am. I shot the white, and that's about as far as I got. Old skate rat punk. Look at me, trying to grow dreadlocks. So, what else we got here? So this is fast forwarding to probably about 2008. Oh, actually, this was 2001 here. My dad had a barn built, and he put it in there for me and saved it from rusting any further. So I'm very, very thankful for my pops for doing that for me. This is 2008, and I towed it up to, not this house, but my other house. There I proceeded to rip out the cargo floors because they were pretty rough shape. I gave it a wash. We were pulling it out of the barn. That's the worst of the rust. That's one of the first things I got to attend to. I'll show you. Yep. On the tow truck. These are jacking points, outriggers, you know, typical rust. Outer rockers, or inner rockers, sorry. Cross member here. It's the front floor. It's really not that bad. A couple holes. Just 1 year before I bought the bus, I'm pictured here snowboarding in the backyard with this snowboard, which is called a Rad Rick, and therefore I named my bus Rick. This is actually a very sought after collectible snowboard. It's a LibTech Matt Cummings, and it's called a Rad Rick. There's the base. So, you want to go see Rick? Let's pull Rick out. Boy, it is a gorgeous day. Perfect day to do this. Alright, we are just about set up. Here's the glimpse. Here's the first glimpse. Okay, let me set you up here. Start moving this thing out. Alright, this is quite a lot of work to pull it out, but I really wanted to do this and show you guys before winter really set in. I had to pull my truck up, and I have a winch connected to my truck, borrowed from my neighbor, and we're going to winch this thing right out. Let's see how this goes. Got a little bit of a hiccup here. I gotta let the tension off. I left the wheel chuck in place. Hold on. Okay, let's continue.
Actually working pretty good.
All right, we're out. Just had lunch, and let's do the walk around. These are the best candies there are. All right, introducing Rick the bus. Okay, where do you want to start? Let's start in the front. The sun is pretty bad. Nose is a bit beat up, so definitely is gonna need some work. Valance is pretty bad. A little spotty here and there, but overall, compared to a lot of vehicles that are out there, this is pretty solid. Okay, let's see. Here's the floor. A-pillar needs some attention. Little holes here and there. Overall, it's going to be a repair, not a full floor replacement. Dash is pretty clean. There's one tag there. Here's another one. I did buy one of those birth certificates for this. I have that stashed away too. The door gaps, really not too bad all the way around. You know, this is just a little adjustment. I actually was working on this yesterday and shot a little video. But I ripped the cargo floor out about 10 years ago because it was pretty bad. And yeah, so we're going to be replacing this top hat, and then there's one here. And I have a lot of replacement metal already. You know, lower couple inches. Hey, what the? Let the chickens out, let them roam around a little bit. That's gonna have to get patched. Looking up the skylights. You know, definitely is some rot in some areas. I think that side's worse than this side. No, they're about the same. We had a hailstorm here that was really bad. I don't know if it's showing up, but the hail was about the size of golf balls, a little bit more, and yeah, the roof is going to need some attention. So we'll keep going along. Yeah, a little damage here. Gas tank is probably going to be one of the first things to come out. I want to kind of take care of that now. It's going to need a replacement panel for this long side here. I kind of already cut out the bad part. But overall, it's a very straight panel. Now let's take a look at this rear area here. Again, I'm not sure why this was cut out. Someone put this panel here to block this off. And this was one of my latest purchases for the spare tire there. This is Autocraft. Got the battery tray, Autocraft. Alright, we are all the way up in the attic. I'm really not feeling taking all this stuff down and laying it outside for you today. But this is the correct seat for Rick. All done. Well, it's not the best light up here. But yeah, this is one thing I've already done. Short seat, all restored, tucked away, waiting to go in there. I have the armrest. My bus is a walk-through. And what else we got? Looks like a driver's seat. We have this is all just storage up here, but it's all here. I had everything painted, all the springs, and we restored that. The rear seat's right there. I'll show you some other bits. Now I'm stepping on here is the floor mat for the cargo area. Looking up here, we got all the deluxe trim. These are the rocker spears. They're not that straight, but they can be straightened. Right here is the rear kick panel there, Como green. And this one, what else we got? There's the middle seat armrest. It needs a piece of green on. And middle seat. That was a hard one to find. Some of these parts I've been, over the years, if I had a little extra money, I've been kind of stashing away because the price of this stuff doubles as the years go on. I figured I'd put this seat together, kind of mock it up just to show what it actually looks like with the kickboard and the armrest installed. And then it's got the grab handle on the top, which is not installed yet, but I just love that look. To have them is pretty cool. All right, now it's getting personal. You're in my closet. You know how we stash important things in our closets. Well, I put this together. Actually, there's a nice thread if you're ever looking to do it on the Samba, all about bus tool rolls. And this one I put together with the aid of the Samba, and it has all the correct, right pliers. This came with your bus. It's a spark plug wrench. Goes something like this. Okay. Lug nuts. That guy there, I believe. Anyway, it was something fun to do, like over the winter. This is my newest addition to it. I picked this up on eBay real cheap. It was like $16. This toolkit for $64 had a reversible screwdriver with the wooden handle. And then after $64 they went to the plastic. I think late $64 they went to the plastic. So a lot of little tidbits you can find on this Samba that help you out, getting the correct stuff for your hobby. Okay, what's next? All right, here's the original radio that goes in there too. I like originality. That's just who I am, and this radio was restored. It's all ready to go back in. Again, I found this on the Samba. The guy just does this as his own hobby. Sapphire 1. I think this is an AM only. So, yeah, that's going to go back in there. Gray knobs. All right, let's go outside. Ah, yes, don't we wish we all had more storage. Okay. We got parts and parts and parts down here. Bus windows, all the trim, everything's stored away. But here, this was the project I did right before I started Misty. And there are a couple videos on this engine build and a cold start. But here's the engine that's going in. Rick the bus. Everything was restored by myself. Came out awesome. Very happy with it. So yeah, this is a solid runner. You guys want to see engine number? I think that made it a late '63 engine, something like that. Well, guys, what do you think? That's my story, and that is my bus. Tell me what you think, and thanks for watching, and please comment, subscribe, and enjoy. Take care. Boy, this is a bit better without the sun glare. It's just about to go back inside. Yeah, I got my work cut out for me, but I've seen much worse. Let me show you some other things. I got the bumpers for it. This one is a pointed bumper, which is not correct, but I do have a slashed bumper here. They're all in pretty good shape. Little bumps and bruises here and there, and slash bumper for the rear. I have all the trim for them. It's just that last drop. It's a killer. Like I said, there's a septic tank right underneath this big hump here. He's got a little crushed here. Yeah, I still have some room to make in here. Not totally set up yet. Still transitioning from one garage to the other. So, hey, like I said, this is all I got to work with. This shelf is most likely going to go, so I have some more room. I really don't need it there, but hey, at least I have when I first started, there was no power out here.